When I was 17, I struggled to figure out who I was. No one really noticed, not even my parents. In a dramatic plea for help, I swallowed a bunch of muscle relaxants and ended up in the hospital.
If I am an uninformed parent coming out there, it's going to be very difficult for my youngster to learn from me, you know. And it's easily, this is why I think they go astray, if you want to use that. You know? Because especially if your son or daughter speaks English, that's where he's going to be getting his training. It's from the kids on the street, his peers and kids in school. They can't communicate with their parents anymore. What the parents have to say is irrelevant.
I would be called from school all the time from his teachers. He was cutting class or he was starting trouble. He wasn't listening to his teachers. And we tried to discipline him, but he was hard-headed.
Sometimes those kids need a real rod on the back so they can hear. And in Samoa, they do get that rod. And I think in any society, when a young person feels that, does that, most people would like to give him the rod.
My mom, my dad just got fed up, you know. He told him, you know, he had to go. Well, I don't think my dad kicked him out, just because my dad would, every time he said, where the hell you been, you know? And it was like, you know, he thought he was he thought he was the man, and so he just never came home one day.
Boom, gone. Yeah, I just got up and left one day.
At the end of the discipline and the reconciliation comes, the parents then says, I didn't do that for me. I did it for you because you are so important to me, in my heart, and in this family. I cannot stand to think that you, my blood, is not the individual that you want to be.
My mom and dad were like strong Samoan parents, so when they don't see their kid for like a day, my mom and dad go crazy, you know.
They just miss you. They just like worried about you. My dad told me, you know, that when I left, he said he heard a lot of shootings about Samoan kids getting shot, and he was wondering if it was me or not, or, you know, just worried. So I felt bad for him that, you know, something happened to me because he was so hard that I left because of him and my mother. Just like broke their heart, worrying all the time.
So parents must remember that they're not in Samoa. They cannot literally transport or transpose Samoa from Samoa and live it in America as if they are still in Samoa. That's a mistake, and they'll pay for it. Their children will pay for it. They need to make the adjustment, but they need to maintain those values in the family, in their relationships, in the church. They need to be active with the young people in their schools, because that's where the action takes place.